Hey guys, Mishi Mavros here, and really quick, I just love to announce that I have finally designed my own website. It is up, it is live, it is called thebblacklambs.com. Please check it out. I have apparel. I've designed my very own apparel. I have 9 designs. This is actually one of them. I know it's backwards, but it says it is both a blessing and a curse to feel everything so very deeply. And the best part of the website is the blog. So I have a mental health blog where people, just like you and me, we share our struggles and our journey with mental illness and our mental health and what we've accomplished since then. So I'm taking blog posts literally all the time. I'd love as many blog posts from as many different people as possible to just kind of spread awareness. And honestly, these people, I already have 4 blog posts on. You guys have to check them out, from Sharon, Gina, Eddie, and Sam. They are just really incredible, and they've really been very brave sharing their stories. So you guys really have to go check them out. They are incredible, and I'd love more blog posts from you guys. So if you'd love to submit, I will send my email down below. But the video today is about borderline personality disorder and our favorite people. I've had a lot of people ask me, about favorite people. I think I have one. Like, what am I supposed to do? I know this isn't healthy. And so I just wanted to kind of put a disclaimer out there, just because with borderline personality disorder, having a favorite person is obviously not a healthy thing. It can be detrimental to the relationship or friendship. It just kind of places a very big burden for that other person, if they don't really understand what's going on. So I understand that it can, become toxic. But again, that's only in certain situations. Our favorite person is actually a way that we cope. So it's our coping mechanism. It's our way of finding some sort of good in an otherwise seemingly scary world. This person has shown us love and compassion that we've always wanted to feel. And so that kind of takes our emotions into being very extreme, because we don't have anything else really to base it on. We don't really have that core sense of self, that self-love, that need to take care of yourself. So when someone else is showing that, it can become very overwhelming for us, experiencing those emotions of just pure love, but then also knowing that the other person probably doesn't feel the same way, since we do experience our emotions so extremely and so passionately. And then that's when things start to potentially go wrong. I think the most important thing is, well, I think everyone needs to know about borderline personality disorder and, be more aware of what happens to us and kind of why we do the things that we do. So that way, it's not so much as like a crazy thing that we do by like attaching to people, and more so just kind of seeing it as a coping mechanism. And that's why we would be able to recover from it, is because we understand that it's part of our illness. But a favorite person, so I've always had a favorite person. Usually it's friends, but obviously my fiance is my favorite person. And I don't know if I would say my favorite person anymore, because I'm trying not to put that pressure on him. I'm trying to, find that within myself, that happiness, rather than seeking the external validation from him all the time. But a favorite person, usually just every single thing that they do, we just want to be good. We just want to be seen by them and loved by them. And even when they're not around, we're always just thinking about, I wonder if I said something or if I did something wrong. I hope they're not mad at me. I hope they're not this or that. Because they are such a core foundation of ourselves and how we view ourselves. This person could be doing very small, minimal things. They may not even realize, what they're doing. But someone with borderline personality disorder and a heightened sense of emotions, and always kind of not being sure whether whether we can fully trust or not. We're always worried, like, did we do something wrong? Like maybe they hate us. And then it kind of sounds to seem like we're kind of like picking at things, like even from so much as like a glance or like a facial expression. I can kind of detect something may be off. But then again, I think this is also a borderline trait. I view neutral faces, someone could just be having a face, and I would view that as like a negative face, where it's just a neutral. So since there's not really any neutral for us, it's either all good or all bad. So any perceived slight from our favorite person makes it seem like, they don't love us anymore. And that's because that we're not worthy. And then it ends up feeling like, oh my God, even my favorite person doesn't love me. Like, I don't know what to do. How can I ever love myself? And then we do direct it inwards. And that's when, you know, things can become very dark and deep. And that's also when the devaluing can occur, especially when there's lots of disagreements going on. The devaluation is a process that can sometimes happen. So there's idealization and devaluation. So idealization is when a person is all good, all amazing, just the best person, like everything or nothing. Evil, mad, like doesn't understand, doesn't care at all. Because we think that if you cared, you'd be showing it. Now, I understand that if you don't have borderline personality disorder, you could be saying, well, I have been showing it, but they don't see it, or it's never enough. A lot of people say that it's never enough and that we're too much. So yeah, it is definitely a reoccurring thing. Like, obviously we understand we're too much, and we're trying to cope with our emotions every day, and having a favorite person that we can rely on, just to make us happy, just to care about us, is really, really valuable for us. So I think it's important not to place too much, I guess, stress on them. But it's hard, because we can't see people in multi dimensions. This person is so pure for loving us, and we just want to do good by them. So thinking all the time, either about them, either about what their close people think of you, what situations could have gone wrong, like hours and hours of just running over certain things that you could have done better. So that's what's going on through our minds. So, it's not a walk in the park to have a favorite person at all by any means, because it's actually usually quite stressful. But that is actually one of our coping mechanisms. So trying to recover from some of the more unhealthy coping mechanisms and finding healthier ones is obviously the hardest part, because we never learned the original ways of coping with our emotions. We never learned how to properly express anger and feel safe to express our anger, without consequence, without punishment. We weren't allowed to express sadness without being punished. You know what I mean? So it's like when someone does show us these basic core human emotions, it just feels like it's so different than what we're used to experiencing. So that's why you can kind of see where the extremes come from, because so many things have just been all bad for us, and we've never learned really the multi-dimensional aspects, because even within ourselves, we either are all good or all bad. And like usually we consider ourselves to be all bad, and that's why we rely on external relationships as kind of validation, that we are in fact a person even at all. Because sometimes in a dissociative state, it's not about even being a good or a bad person. It's just about getting out of your mind and the mind fog, and being with people that care and love you is of course the best thing, and something that we most want to do, so that we don't turn to other coping mechanisms that are even more unhealthy, substance abuse, self-harm. So I think that that's why as well we also want so badly to be around other people, because we know that that's healthy. We know that it's, we have had so many problems with interpersonal relationships in our past, especially me. Even before I had borderline personality disorder, I just always knew friendships growing up, just all the time, just fights and lashing out. And it was never really like, I did have a core best friend all my life, but she was from a different town. So, we never really, and even then we would still fight and then stop talking and then be friends again. And, so the volatile relationships are a very, very reoccurring aspect of our lives. So trying to find healthier ways of dealing with these things, while also still understanding that our favorite person is a person of their own, and, wanting to care for them, and understanding that they may need their alone time, and just getting that constant reassurance that you are loved without needing to ask for it, because I can understand sometimes people view it as manipulative if we're always asking, like, do you love us, do you love us, are you sure, did we do something wrong, and I can understand from the other perspective it may seem like annoying to be constantly asked when honestly you're not doing anything. Everything is cool, and this person is thinking, you're not even sure what they're thinking. So for someone, if you know that you're someone's favorite person, I understand it can also be very difficult to deal with. But if you know at your core that this person right now is suffering from borderline personality disorder, but you can be part of their recovery process by helping them, urging them to get help. And obviously, when I say that, I don't just mean going to the doctor and getting therapy or medication, because there's so many other ways. And honestly, going to the doctor and getting therapy and medication, yes, everyone thinks that that is the way to do it. But unfortunately, it's really not accessible for a majority of the world. So other ways of coping, are through finding people like you and realizing your habits, but realizing the reasons for them, and realizing that you at your core need to have that love for yourself, because you are a person valid and deserving of all of the love that you give to other people. So if you'd like another video about favorite people in the future, let me know down below. And please check out my website, thebblacklambs.com, on Instagram, The Black Lambs, and TikTok. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to be back next week with another video.